Well, hello there, Tuan in Norway. I'm trying to figure out how to turn down the computer so we don't have feedback. Oh, and I see some others. Dad in Ohio, and MV Birdie, and Sandy Bose, and Skylar Blue. Dogs love cat. Okay, excellent. We have a full house. I'm going to try and get the dogs over to where you can see them. I better load up on some treats. So inside the house tonight, in the main house, we have Chaos, Bailey, Bruce, and the Duchess. Chaos moved from the sun porch, so I'm not sure if I can really get the other dogs over. But I wanted to tell you about Buddy's debut on Saturday. It really was a lovely, lovely event. And it's over here, puppies. It's an interfaith event. It's 3 churches in Manchester by the Sea, which is a lovely coastal town. And Mary did it for years, so they were very disappointed last year when they didn't have a donkey. So Janine and Wayne came over to help us load Buddy because we'd never done it before. And it took the 3 of them to get him in. It wasn't that it took that very long time, but he had his mood. But he had been brushed. Janine even oiled his hooves or something to make them prettier. And we had picked out some nice fluffies for him. And then the ride over, it started to snow. So I was like, oh, this could be interesting. So they had a fenced area for us to bring Buddy. Now, the whole event is there's a procession, a costume procession from one of the other churches down to the church that we were stationed at. And they walk down this, stone path between the church and the parish hall. And I swear to heavens, it was as if it was on cue. As soon as the people started walking down the path and hit where we were, Buddy started talking and talking and talking. People could hear him out on the street. It was as if he would say, "Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, welcome to, the event." And everyone was stopping where we were to get hot chocolate. So it was just really funny. He's talking away and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, there's a donkey." But the first people that came in to our area weren't part of the event. They were actually going to mass. And it was a woman, probably, 50s or so, and her mother, probably late 70s. You could tell it was just a proper New Englander, probably from this area, which is very, very nice, old New England. And she came in, looked Buddy straight in the eye and said, "Hello there," and started petting him. And she turned to me and said, "I had a donkey growing up." And she had a horse and she had other things, but loved her donkey. And started telling stories about the donkey. I mean, her eyes were smiling. And you could tell the daughter was so thrilled because she was so in the zone talking to us. So it was just a really lovely visit with her. And I'm like, okay, we can go home because you know what? This is the miracle of Christmas, because you could tell this woman just had wonderful memories and was sharing them with all of us. So we were sharing the pen, for lack of a better term, with 2 Nigerian pygmy goats named Lucy and Kelso. One was black with some spots and one was like a honey reddish. And they had led the procession with 2 youth who were dressed as shepherds appropriately. So they were in with us. And then the shepherds disappeared. So we're like, well, Buddy was, and they were staying away from each other. Let me tell you, goats are sneaky. They snuck over to where we had Buddy's carrots and grain and everything and tried to break into it. So they were very cute, but Buddy was the star. Everyone came to Buddy. The kids, their eyes would just light up, and, I'd say you can hug him, and you can pet him, and they loved his nose and his ears. And Kiara, and when, they heard he was 500 pounds, like their jaws would drop. It was just adorable, adorable. And the snow's coming down, and Buddy just grazed his way around this area. So in the spring, there will be some areas that probably need some new grass seed, but it balances out by the areas that maybe got a little extra fertilization that night. And so the event was, they had a manger, which Mary and Joseph, they were texting. I don't think that should be. And then inside the parish hall, they had a series of events for children, and it was candle making, like the honeycomb type candles, and there was a little skit that was running every 15 minutes, and they were serving, of course, shepherd's pie and bread, and then there was an area where you could make a beaded bracelet. So I got a beaded bracelet to commemorate Buddy and Mai's date night. And it really was just wonderful. Many people remembered Mary. Very, very fondly, they remembered Mary. And people came up to us and asked, a lot of questions about Buddy, a lot of questions about SDP. So it was very nice. We ended up not giving out poker chips. All of a sudden I felt guilty, like, I don't know, should we be giving out poker chips at a church? And the churches are supposed to have some press on the event, so I'm hoping, and they said they really wanted to mention us, so hopefully we'll get some good press out of it. And they do have a Facebook page, but I don't know if anything's posted. Maybe I'll check that out tonight. Buddy really was a true gentleman, as was Bud the human as well. And they actually want us to lead the procession next year. I believe in the past Mary did that some years. And here comes Carlene.
How we doing?
Good, good.
Are you on camera?
Well, I'm not on camera, but I was talking. I was letting them hear the dogs, and I was telling them about Buddy.
Oh, good.
Buddy's event.
Very good. That's a good thing.
So.
Keep everybody entertained? Oh, let me go sit down.
So Carlene's very festive in her red vest
There we go.
with lots of pockets and zippers.
You've been good. You were awful bad earlier, and you weren't so hot either. You had a bad time, didn't you? Oh, she's very pretty good. Are you good now? Oh,
She's
don't
been
chew on me.
She's been pooping up a storm.
You don't chew.
As have you been, Mr.
You
Bruce.
don't chew with the teeth. Teeth are taught at bad things.
Lots of pooping going on.
Okay. Nice poopies or bad poopies?
No, good poopies, good poopies. Bruce had kind of stinky poopies. But,
She had a really bad scare today. Did you hear it?
no, I did not.
It was probably Mariah. And she tried to take a toy away from Mariah, and Mariah said no. She howled and howled and howled. No, she couldn't do that. What do you got?
Is that on?
That's on.